The slab terminal was a critical component for Alabama in its quest for the $4.7 billion ThyssenKrupp project. We had to, at the Port Authority, come up with a very cost-effective, very efficient, very reliable method of getting slabs off of a ship and into the steel mill, which is about 50 miles away. The concept that we have here actually came about during a trip to Germany. Across the river was a container terminal that used wide-span gantries to move containers from the barge onto the dock, and then use these same gantries to load onto trucks. And that's where this concept came from. A narrower span because of cost factors. We originally thought about a 200-foot span, but that cost effectively was just not going to work. So we ended up with the narrower gauge, but the much larger back reach, which gave us the storage capacity we need. So overall, the concept was a great partnership between the State Port Authority and Shaw GBB.
Each vessel comes with approximately 3,000 to 3,500 slabs per vessel. Most vessels are about 7 hatches, which is approximately somewhere between 350 and 550 slabs in each hatch. Pinto has been able to achieve unloading those vessels in approximately 3 days. Each barge is loaded in somewhere between 2 hours and 4 hours, and the time it takes to get from Pinto with a fully loaded barge tow up to the TK facility in Calvert is approximately 10 to 14 hours.
Shift boat operator brings a barge in to the south end. Barge haul operator enters the mule, hooks the mule up to the barge, goes and enters information into the barge haul system at the booth, makes sure the crane has control, sends the crane calls the barge goes to the crane, barge gets loaded, crane operator tells the barge haul booth that the barge is full. Barge haul operator now has control over it, calls it back home. Shift boat is there to pick it up. Last thing barge haul operator does is release and park as the shift boat engages the barge for taking it away.
The facility was designed to be as personnel free as possible, and that the cranes are going to handle all of the stacking of the slabs in the yard. There'll be no more personnel or yard equipment required for that, as well as the barge units will not require any line handlers of nature. Each barge will stay with the unit through the operation and return to the fleet for transit up to the steel mill.
Due to the geometry of the hatches, they're not perfectly rectangular as they go down. So the other major piece of equipment that has been purchased for this terminal, forklift trucks, that will be picked up by the cranes, traveled out, placed into the hold of the vessel, and then in the hold of the vessel, it will pick up the slabs in the side portions of the hatches, move them to an area of the hatch that the crane can reach the slab, let the crane come down, pick up that slab.
The facility consists really of 3 major components as far as the dock facility. It's an outboard dock facility which the vessel breasts against, and the waterside leg of the crane rides on. Then there's the barge slip. Then there's an inboard dock facility called a relieving platform in which the barge carriage systems will ride on. And then there's a back landside crane rail beam that the landside leg of the crane rests on.
The slabs to be handled at Pinto will range anywhere from 10 tons to 36 tons. The magnet lifting system, which consists of the magnet system and a 2-piece rotator, it weighs approximately 20 tons, and the forklift trucks, which will be handled in one single lift, weigh approximately 83 tons. Each slab is tracked utilizing RFID technology. There are 2 identical RFID tags located on opposite sides of each slab. We have located a series of 4 RFID antennas that are located on extendable arms on the magnet system. During each move from the vessel to the barge or to the yard, the slab is read in initial time, and then from that point forward, that identification remains with the slab throughout the time that slab is at Pinto.
Because of cost factors and whatnot to come with a split dock, the narrower span gantry but with a larger back reach, so that we could in fact do all of the handling with the cranes only. The uniqueness of this facility, we did a lot in researching technologies, the magnet technology. We traveled to 3 different countries in looking at the magnet technology. The barge movers were designed by Shaw and worked out as a great concept, first time ever deployed.
I think one of the important things about Pinto is Pinto was critical in Alabama winning the project itself and then locating the subsequent steel mill up the river. So it really resulted in the award to Alabama and thousands of jobs to people that are working up at the steel mill as well.
There was a lot on the table. The investment was about $4.7 billion for ThyssenKrupp, so there was a lot at stake during the development of this project.